Hi, if you're new to our channel, I'm Mark,
I'm Paulette.
and we are the Two Travelers in Mexico.
We lived in California. We sold our home. We got rid of everything that we owned, and we packed up our Honda Elantra and headed to Mexico.
Basically came here with nothing but the clothes on our backs and a few totes in our car.
Yeah.
And now we are documenting our experience here in Mexico, good and bad. We hope you like what you see. Hope you'll subscribe, click the like button. We also have a Facebook group called the Two Travelers in Mexico, if you would like to join that. Stay tuned for the main feature. So now we're going to talk about the things that pleasantly surprised us about Mexico. Number one is most of the major shopping chains that you're used to in the United States are here. Costco's are here, Walmart's are here, Sam's Clubs are here, Home Depot's here, Office Depot is here.
Sears,
yeah.
Bed Bath & Beyond.
Yeah, so if you're used to that.
And I also, wait a second, and I also hear that IKEA is supposed to be coming in to Mexico City in the next year.
Right, so if you want to buy furniture that's nearly impossible to put together, then
and,
you're in luck when
cheap.
IKEA comes here, and cheap. So, but that's just some of the things we were pleasantly surprised with is there's a lot of the shopping that's available in the U.S. is also available here too. You can really find just about all of the necessities that you're used to in the United States here. So that's one of the things that we were really pleasantly surprised by.
Yeah, and I ended up bringing a bunch of my kitchen pans and stuff like that, but when we went to the mall that's over here by where we live, there is a Sears and you can buy all your pots and pans and all your utensils and all your stuff that you needed. What was important for me to bring was like my Vitamix, my juicer. I did bring enough silverware, like for us and stuff like that, and the pots and the pans. And that was about it, I think, as far as kitchen stuff was concerned. I think we ended up bringing just a couple of towels because we took our car, as we've mentioned before, which is a small Elantra, and we couldn't fit a whole lot in it. So the last day that we were leaving, we had to unpack a bunch of stuff that we thought would fit in it.
Yeah.
So we ended up bringing, I think, 2 towels with us, and that was it, and then buying some towels here. But yeah, just about anything that you need, you can find. It might be a little bit more expensive than you're used to paying in the United States, for sure, but you can find it here. Right. So, and the other thing that I wanted to talk about that I absolutely love, and we both love, is the Mercados here. Mercados, if you're not familiar with them, is an open market that has tons of vendors. You could buy produce, you can buy shoes, you can buy, anything, sandals, boots, belts. You can buy household items, baskets, what others, flowers.
Cheese, just a lot of stuff, handmade tortillas.
You can buy meat, fish,
yeah.
Chicken, stuff like that.
Right.
What else? And it's really reasonable. It's very, very reasonable on the prices that they have. And there's also restaurants in there where you can just sit down and grab something to eat too while you're, going through the Mercado and you get hungry. There's a lot of stuff like that. Can you think of anything else that?
Yeah. Well, the place that we go to, Independencia Mercado here in Morelia, I mean, there are like hundreds of food vendors. I mean, you could shop around different places, although they're all seem to be pretty close in price comparison. But there's a lot of different, little tiendas, basically a lot of them are like 8 foot by 8 foot booths or whatever. And then they just sell a bunch of stuff. So if you're looking for avocados, there's, a bunch of places that you can buy avocados there, as an example.
Yeah, and I do miss my avocados since being kind of in quarantine.
Yeah.
So.
So now we've entered the food area and we can actually buy lunch or breakfast or dinner and sit down and eat within the market. Yes, they really do have meat sit out here for several hours during the day.
One thing that I have not found
Is sweet potatoes.
sweet potatoes. I have not been able to find any sweet potatoes. So, do they not exist here in Mexico? I'm kind of confused by that.
Yeah, or do they just look different here in Mexico than what we're used to? I don't
No,
know.
I think sweet potatoes are sweet potatoes,
Yeah.
Mark. The other thing that I wanted to mention too is the local combis. I've talked about that before. That they're really reasonable to take. They're like a van, but they have like bench seats in the back, the sides. They can fit about up to 15 people.
Yeah.
Sometimes the windows open, sometimes they don't. They're really good to take though. I mean, they can't get stuffy in there if you can't open the windows. But I mean, they're really reliable. I mean,
Yeah.
they come about every, 5, 10, 15 minutes, something like that, depending on which one you're trying to catch.
Yeah.
They are color coded. You just have to figure out which one is the one that works for you. Once you've got that down, then you're good to go.
Right.
It does take some practice. I have screwed up.
Yeah.
I have screwed up before, but now we got them down. But they're really reasonable. What are they, 9 pesos?
9 pesos.
9 pesos.
And
It's about
sometimes-
45 cents, something
yeah,
like that.
depending on where you're going, I mean, you could be on the combi for 45 minutes if you're going a distance away.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
and that's the thing, is the public transportation system here is really very good. And I
It
would
is.
say better than the US actually.
Yeah,
Because of the way that it all works together. The combis will pick you up. Say if you need to go,
well, they don't pick you up at your door.
no,
Okay.
but they pick you up on the street. There's a lot of stops. There's a lot of different routes that they run, depending on the color coding. So if you have to catch a combi, typically you don't have to walk that far to get to where the combis normally stop. But then you could catch a combi, as an example, to the bus station here to go to other cities, which we've done in the past.
Right.
Or you can catch them to go to the different markets, Walmart. I don't know if
Not
Costco.
the main buses.
No, not the main buses, but the combis.
Right, the combis.
Yeah.
The main buses, you would catch a combi to go to the bus terminal. And then from there, you buy your ticket and you can go wherever you want to go. I
Yeah.
mean, you can go to Mexico City, you can go, that's what we use. Most of the time, we do have our car here, but we just use that like for going to Sam's or Costco really, if we're going to do some big purchases,
Right.
because that would not work taking a combi.
Right.
No, not at all.
Right.
But I mean, and then before this quarantine hit, we were adventuring out, like an hour or so to different places in the car and spending the day there and visiting different towns and things like that. But that's kind of on hold too.
Yeah. As is combi riding currently, at least for us anyway. We
Yeah.
haven't ridden a combi since the whole quarantine thing, and we probably won't be until this is really pretty much passed.
Yeah.
But again, the public transportation system here is really fantastic, especially here in Morelia. And let us know if it's different, in different cities of Mexico.
I think it
Comments down
is.
below.
I mean, when we were in Mexico City for one day and then we did our trip to Copper Canyon and we came back, I didn't see any combis there.
No.
Now,
no.
I don't know. I could be wrong. Maybe it was
Yeah.
just in the historical where the Zocalo is and stuff like that, but we did not see any combis
Right.
at all.
We
Taxis,
saw a ton of taxis.
pink
so-
taxis everywhere,
Yeah.
and like the local metro bus or something like that. But yeah, I didn't really see
Yeah.
those there. And when we went to actually Cuernavaca, did you see combis there too? I saw
Yeah,
buses.
there were not combis like we saw them here. There were buses that would take you locally that were
Yeah.
generally a little bit larger than the combis that we see here in Morelia. But still, there were plenty of those in Cuernavaca too. I thought the buses.
Yeah, on the main
Yeah.
strip. I mean, there wasn't anything like within historical area or anything like that that I ever really saw.
Well, we rode one that dropped us off in the historical area when we went to Hotel or Hacienda de Cortez.
Okay, so that's about all I think we're going to cover today. Oh, the other thing that we love about Mexico is what?
The architecture.
The
Well,
architecture,
there's more than that. The architecture, the
culture,
the
beauty.
beauty.
Yeah, the people.
Seems
what
like
else?
in every
and
little-
parks everywhere, everywhere.
Seems like in every town you go to, you can always find some spectacular architecture, no matter the size,
It is beautiful.
big or small.
Yeah.
And that's that's one of the things I really appreciate about Mexico. The churches here, sometimes even in small towns, the churches don't look like much on the outside, and then you go in and there's amazing places with art and design and all that. It's really fantastic.
Yeah. So far, it's been 5 months. Do you have any regrets?
No, not at all. The only slight regret is not having family around, but other than that, Mexico
Friends
has
that we knew.
been everything that we would hoped it would be and
Yeah,
more, really.
yeah.
I mean,
I know right now the quarantine's going on, and there are a lot of people who have gone back to the U.S. There's a lot of people that have moved back to Canada and different stuff like that. We are temporary residents here because we brought our car, and that's the only way you can do it, bringing your vehicle into Mexico.
right.
But it never even crossed our mind to go back to the
Yeah.
U.S. Not at all. I mean, this feels like home to us. It really does. Except again, that we don't have our children, our grandchildren that we really miss.
Right. And for those of you that are really attached to that will be an adjustment period.
Yeah, it will.
So-
But anyhow, we don't have any regrets. I don't know how the virus is going to hit Mexico. I know that we did our last video that tells you what we've seen out there, how they are staying home, keeping distances for sure, because we hardly saw any people on the street. A lot of restaurants are doing where you can order out. Some of them, I think, are still open where you can sit down in the restaurant. We have not done that. We actually haven't eaten out. We've been doing a lot of eating at home.
At home, yeah.
That's about it for now. If you guys have any comments you want to leave down below, go ahead. If you have any suggestions, any comments, don't be too negative now. Go ahead and leave them below. And we will talk to you soon, and we'll probably do a video from maybe a local park on the next one, something like that, just to get out and walk around, because it gets tiring being home.
It does. Looking at the same view the whole time.
Yeah. So let us know how you guys are doing, where you're at, what's going on, and do you know anybody that's been hit with the virus? I think I asked that in the last video. What you're doing to stay busy. Are you working from home? Are you drawing unemployment? What are you guys doing? I mean, we're curious to know what our followers are doing too. Yeah. So, God bless. We love you guys, and look forward to our next video. If you subscribe, you'll be notified when we do put out a new video every time. And we do have a Facebook page too with the same name on it.
The Two Travelers in Mexico.
So, and I post different things on that one, like rentals and just stuff. So it's different than our regular YouTube videos.
Until then, be healthy, be safe, and we'll see you.
Adios.
What she did.
Bye.